This is In Focus with the loving LeAnn for Inform Magazine, and we're still here in the rotunda of this Georgia State Capitol, enjoying the day, collaborating and speaking with great people, but we're here for a bigger cause, more than fellowship, that we are here to bring more awareness to domestic violence and how it just plagues our community. Yes. So I am so glad to be standing here with Ann. Thank you for coming over and speaking with us. So today, I know you guys went down, and I know today at 4 you have some big things going on. I want you to tell us all about that.
Sure, great. Well, Marsy's Law is Marsy's Law for Georgia, and is basically a bill that wants to give victims of crime equal constitutional standing and enforceable rights. Those are the two main things. Right now in Georgia, we have a thing called the Victims' Bill of Rights. It's in there that says that victims are supposed to get all these things. They're supposed to be informed of bond hearings. They're supposed to be told when someone's going out on parole. They're supposed to be allowed to be present in the court and speak their voice. But if that does not happen, there is no enforceability. The victim really doesn't have the voice they need to have to make sure they're protected. So right now, our goal is to try to give victims equal standing in court with the person who did something to them, and also to be able to enforce their rights if their rights are violated.
Wow. And let me ask you, you're the stage director.
Yes.
So tell me, how did this all come about for you?
Well, I'll say how Marsy's Law came about. Well, Marsy's Law started in California, actually. Marsy is the victim. Marsy was a victim of domestic violence. She broke up with her boyfriend, and he was telling her he was going to commit suicide. He was devastated. When she went to try to console him, he killed her instead. But what happened was the victim's family ran into him in the store just a couple days later, and they had no idea he was getting out on parole. So they found out that victims in California really had no right to know what was going to happen to and be the voice of their loved one in court. So they set out to change the laws in California, and that was Marsy's brother, Dr. Nicholas. And he got the laws changed in California. They went to Illinois, changed those laws. We passed in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Montana last November. So now victims in those states have equal enforceable constitutional rights. So right now we're active in the South, we're active in Georgia and Kentucky. We're trying to there's 15 states that do not have constitutional rights for their crime victims. And that's our goal, is to get to those 15 states. I live in Georgia. This is my state, my home state. Been here since I was 5 years old. We want Georgia to be like the 35 other states, and make sure all victims throughout the United States have equal constitutional rights.
Wow. And I know that you have a bill on the floor today at 4. Tell us about what's going on at 4.
It's actually, the bill is in the Judiciary Committee. Okay. It's in full committee. Senator Kennedy from Macon has been an incredible activist for victims' rights. And so he is speaking up in committee today. And if we pass full committee, we'll then go to the Rules Committee, and then it goes to the floor for the vote. Once it passes the House and the Senate by 2/3 vote, it would be on the 2018 ballot for the people of Georgia to vote on, and it would be in the Georgia Constitution.
Wow, that's amazing. Those are just the little things that people don't know.
No.
That you just,
It is yes. Anytime it's a constitutional amendment, the people get to vote. So in Georgia, we're a legislative state. So we have to go through the legislative process to get on the ballot. Other states, you can go straight to the ballot if you get enough signatures. So in California, that's how it was easy. We've polled people, and this polls easily at 70 and 80%, because you want to ask someone, what you ask them is, if someone rapes you, do you want them to have more rights than you in court? If someone murdered your loved one, do you want them to be able to have more rights, constitutional rights than you? And the answer is no. You want to be able to stand there and be a voice for your loved one, or you want to have a stronger voice for yourself. And victims, it's a moral obligation the state has to make sure victims have the enforceable rights that they need, and they have a voice. And that's really what we want to do, is give victims an equal voice.
Absolutely. I love that, giving victims an equal voice. Well, Ann, this is Ann Casa, and thank you so much. I want the people to be able to know how they can get in touch with you. How can they follow Marsy's Law? Tell us all that.
Absolutely. My email is the quickest way to get me, Ann, A-N-N, at marsyslaw.us, or we're on Facebook, Marsy's Law for Georgia, or marsyslaw.us. So anywhere, just Google us.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, and thank you for being here and being an advocate for so many.
Thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely. This is In Focus with the loving LeAnn for Inform Magazine.